I'm Dylan, and welcome to Twisted Rich Garage. What's up, guys, and thanks for joining me on another episode of Twisted Wrench Garage. We're back out here working on the Dodge. Like we said, we're going to be working on the back brakes this week. Maybe get the front fenders on if Ben comes to town. Get that front grille taken care of with some headlights and some new taillights. We'll see how much we can get done this week. Just kind of depends. But already got it up in the air. Went ahead and got the wheels pulled off. Let's hop into the back brakes and let's start getting these rear drums changed out. Before we get to tear into this thing, I got some stuff laid out. Got our new wheel cylinder, new drum shoes. We've also got brand new hardware kit. I always recommend to go ahead and replace these. They're cheap enough to go ahead and snag them. You're going ahead and you're taking it all apart anyway, so might as well just spend the extra, 15, 20 bucks. Grab that kit. That way it's all good and ready to go. We've also got a new master cylinder to throw on this old girl, and in that box back there we have the brake line that goes in the middle of the axle we need to change out. So let's get you guys in position. Let's start tearing apart this driver's side. I'm going to leave the passenger side together so I have something to go back and look at to make sure I get it all put back together properly. All right, start by taking the drum off. I've already broke them free. All right, got the right tool. This just makes it easier. Pull off that spring. Pull off that spring. And you have a cable, which this one is busted. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, so it's gonna be a minute for me to remind myself of how all this goes. This should come off as like one whole unit. Should push down and twist and come off. Being a pain. So I get this other one going for free. Alright, I was able to get these off. I had to actually hold the pin back here because it kept wanting to push the pin back out, so one thing to pay attention to. And should be able to pry this out of here. We should be able to pull this bar out. Like that. And this whole thing should come out as a whole unit. Just like so. And we have our emergency brake lever. Should pop out and then just hang in there. So there we've got our drum brake set up with our adjuster down here. We'll need to get that cleaned up and lubed so it's easier to use. So we'll get this pulled apart. Let's get this cleaned up, and then we'll start getting this side cleaned up and such. We'll get this wheel cylinder off. I've already sprayed some PD Blast on the back of both of these and the lines for the master cylinder. So pull this adjuster out. We'll take that to the bench grinder. Yeah, definitely gonna be a challenge getting this all back together because, like I said, it's been a minute for me. let's pull these out because we need to reuse these. You can tell those are leaking. I pulled that out. We'll clean these up as well. Alright. I don't know if I want to test that line back there yet. Don't really want to have to change these. Let's see if I can get it broke free. Let me grab a wrench. You see? That's what I didn't want to happen. I have a feeling the other side's gonna do it too. And maybe at the brake master cylinder. So probably gonna have to reflare this if I can. I don't really want to have to replace all these brake lines, but typically this is what happens when you get into these old brake systems. You try to get one of these free, they break, then you gotta move down the line, replace something else, then it breaks somewhere else, and you gotta replace that. Then you're 2 weeks into replacing brake lines. And you don't really want to do that. Son of a gun. That is unfortunate. Alright, remove 2 3/8 from the back of this wheel cylinder. Pop that out. And it needs changed, so we're going to change it. Blow this thing off a little bit. Alright guys, had to call it quits early yesterday. Ended up running out of parts. Ended up busting a brake line off, so I had to go and grab some brake line fittings. Those are tube size 3/16 by 3/8 24. But the parts we were missing were going to be these little cable guides, because they didn't have them on the truck when I pulled it apart, and then the self-adjuster cable, which was also broken, so we had to wait a day for those to show up. So we're gonna get back in here, we're gonna finish up this driver's side. I'm gonna go ahead and knock it out, that way I can refresh my memory as to how it all goes back together. Then I'll show you how to do that passenger side all together. All right, we got this side all put together. Still needs adjusted with the brake adjuster, and I don't want to do that until after I bleed these rear brakes. So let's get to that passenger side. Let me show you how to get it all put together. All right, this side over here is missing the bar that goes across. The spring that goes on it is sitting right here, but I don't see it anywhere inside here. So I don't know. We're gonna have to see if we can find that. We got our brake tool here. Use this end here. Twist that first spring off. Like that, and then our second one like that. And then this is that self-adjuster cable I told you guys that was broken. It's broken on both sides. We have a cable guide over here. That other side didn't have it. There's our old cable guide and our old spring, but we're gonna replace all that. Another one over here. And then this piece of plate right here comes out. Might be loose. We have to reuse that. We'll clean that up. This bottom spring was busted. Leave that be here. Take that out, I guess, if we can. Looks like it's gonna stay in place for now. So I'm just gonna take pliers. We're gonna hold our little pin back here at the back and push in, twist. It should come free. It's not wanting to come out of there very easy. wanting to cooperate. There we go. There's one. Our little pin. Got another one over here. There's the other one. And then all you gotta do is just pry the top apart. And that whole thing will come off. It would appear that the emergency brake arm is missing over here. So I'm gonna have to find one of those. There's that busted spring. That's no good no more. We do have to pull this off. This is our little adjuster lock, so that if you push down and twist it, it should come off of there. You may need to use a pair of pliers. And there's a spring on there, so be careful. If I can get this off of here. Got the other one on fairly easy. Come on. There we go. So it just pops off. There's like there's a bigger hole on the one side, so you can slide it off. So we have to reuse that, so we'll clean that stuff up too. But that's the shoes all taken apart. I don't see that rod that goes across and keeps them even there. I don't see that either. So gonna have to find one of those too. Gonna go ahead and pull the wheel cylinder off. I'm gonna see if I can get this brake line off without snapping this one too. I had to repair that other side. If I have to repair this side, I'll show you guys how I do it. Just gonna go ahead and go grab my 3/8 ratchet and such, and 3/8 wrench I think I have here. Let's see if I can get that line off without breaking it. I did spray it down yesterday with some PB blast, but you never really know if that's gonna do the trick or not. And I have a feeling that this one's gonna break off too. So on these older brake lines, it has this spring wrapped around it, and you do have to take some of that off if you want to cut it back and add a new tube nut to it. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just kind of unraveling it off of there. And then once I get to a certain point, I can just break it off. See if I can cut that off. Yep, there we go. All right, so what we're doing here is I've got this little tube cutter here, tightening down that. Got it on a spot where I think I can cut it off. I'm actually gonna have to move it back some because that curve is gonna cause me some problems. So we'll cut it right there. You just tighten it up as tight as you can get by hand, and then you just start going around in a circle. And then that immediately cut it off. A little oblong there, so I'm gonna have to squeeze on that just a tad. So there's our new reef-flare surface. Just gonna take my little wire cutter pliers here. I'm just gonna run through the inside here. Try to clean up any kind of burrs. I don't have a deburring tool, so I use what I got. Got my new tube nut. I'm gonna put that on first. Then I need to find the 3/16 on my flaring tool here. Put that there. I want it to stick out a decent amount. About 1/8 of an inch is fine. Then we want to tighten this up real tight. So our line doesn't slip when we're trying to flare it. go. Should be good enough. And we take our tool, slide that on there like so. We're gonna put that point right in that hole of the line. Normally, and the gentleman just told me just here that was doing some body work, reminded me these do prefer to be double flared, and I actually don't have a double flare tool here, but I've been working on these brakes so long, I'm ready to get them done. So tighten that down. We may have to readjust. Take it back off. Slide her back. Loosen her up here. Let's see how that flare looks. Alright, was able to break that free. Nice and gunked up, so we'll start cleaning this up. So I got some parts here that I'm hoping will work with this particular truck. I think this backing plate is, I got an extra backing plate here, and then the pieces I'm missing is this here, it goes in between, and then the emergency brake arm, which goes over here back behind it. And this, it was missing both, so we're gonna see if I can get those to work on here. First, we need to put our wheel cylinder in. There we go. Tighten that up. Okay. Now, since I had to recut that line and reflare it, I am gonna have to rebend it into a position so I can get it in there. Need pliers here. Let's see if they give us a good easy bend here. You'll be very careful when you're bending these because you don't want to kink them. There we go. There's our line. Next, we need to get our brake shoes. And the long one always goes in the back. So, I'm also gonna need to grab my hardware kit. I think I left it up there. So let me grab that. This one, we need to get that arm on here. Pull this apart. Alright, so those pieces weren't gonna work, so I'm just gonna put together what I can for now. And I'm gonna have to find those pieces. The emergency brake will not work without it. Here's the other one. There we go. At least we can get a lot of this put together at least. Here's one. Do need to put our little lever back on here. Go. Now there's that arm that needs to go right here for the e-brake. Alright guys, after a little bit of work I went out there. I don't know if any of you remember or not whenever I went and helped pick up that silver Ram charger. But we were able to snag these off of that Ram charger, so let's throw these on the truck and let's finish up these drums. Alright, after a bit of fighting I was able to get that bar in right there, as well as that parking brake arm. This thing wanted to fight me for a while. It wouldn't let me put the drum on, so I had to get that taken care of. But as you guys can see, we got it all put back together. We got our front spring, back spring, we got our new self-adjuster cable running down there to the bottom. Then we got our spring at the bottom, our new clips, our new wheel cylinder. I don't know why I brain part of the word off there, but we're gonna go ahead and throw this on, then I'll start adjusting these drums and we'll see where we sit. All right, I got some PV Blast on there. I'm actually gonna throw some heat at these ones. I really don't want to have to replace this one. See if I can get at it without pointing it at that gas tank. That'd be great. So let's see if we can get in there. it's hot. We're gonna spray some more PB Blast, try to get that to soak in. See if we can get these to break free. Oh, it's turning the whole line. I don't want to break it. See if we can go back and forth. All right, yeah. I'm gonna keep going at this for a minute. I'm gonna see if I can get this free without shattering this line. Just keep going heat and going from the heat to the PB Blast, heat to PB Blast, see if we can get that free. Well, I don't know if you guys can see that Bluetooth there brake line on both sides, but I was unsuccessful in getting those free. I used heat and PB Blast and heat and PB Blast probably for a good 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and it's not working. So these are gonna have to be reflared and redone as well. So I'll have to get that taken care of. All right, guys, another day at Twisted Wrench Garage here. We had to call it quits yesterday. Those brake lines that we were fooling with obviously broke. So ended up having to cut them short, and they ended up being too short. So we went ahead and got some new ones. Went ahead and got those in place. Just kind of bent them into place, kind of made them work. I'm going from the driver's side wheel cylinder over to the new middle section brake line. And we've got a little service loop going over to the other side. I didn't really want to cut these lines and have to reflare them because I've only got the single flare tool, and usually on these brake lines you want to double flare those. That way there's no leaks. The single flare can actually crack around the edge and actually cause a leak, which is the way I did it on mine, which is, you know, I'm still running fine on mine, but just for safety, you know, it does help to have that being double flared. So oh well. We did get that all taken care of. We need to bleed the brakes, but before we do that, we need to throw in a new master cylinder. And one of the things that I like to do whenever I'm putting a master cylinder in, I don't bench bleed it like most people. What I do is I've got a little setup. I actually went up to Harbor Freight and I picked up a pack of these little plastic fittings that you can then screw into your brake master cylinder. Then you just run your lines up to where they go, mount it on the truck, and then just use the pedal to bleed it and get all the air out of it. I mean, why try to do it by hand when you can do it on the truck a lot easier? So I have been spraying the master cylinder line nuts. I've been spraying those for the past 3 or 4 days. So hopefully those will come free nice and easy and we can just slap it all back together. So let me get you guys in a position. We'll start getting this pulled off and we'll start getting the new one on, and I'll show you what I'm talking about when it comes to that bleeder process, or the bench bleeding process, but we're gonna do it on the truck. All right, and we got Ben in town, so I'm gonna let him break these free.
Yeah, you gonna let me break them?
Yes, sir.
Not
slide it over the line. Wow, he's a nub.
That's what we do when we're not experienced.
He's a nubby sauce. So it's a 9/16 line wrench. There you go.
Yeah, no bueno.
Yeah, these can be a challenge. That might be a bigger size.
It definitely seems like it. That's the
probably
small
5/8. So
we're going to continue wrenching on this.
Yeah, just try to see if you can get it to break free. And if it won't, we'll throw some heat at it. Can you try?
Yeah, I'd say that. I don't want to put too much.
Don't be scared of it. You can't be scared of it.
Scared of it. He's talking about having to replace a whole bunch of shit if we break it. So. I know, right?
I've got a step stool here. Because I'm short. Alright, let's see. Oh, it came free!
Nice.
And it's not twisting the line. So we are good there.
The tappy tappy
that is
helping out.
That is good times. So the back one I believe is going to be a 5/8. If it's a, no, it's the same size. What are you talking about, Ben?
Maybe I grab the other end of the ratchet.
Alright. That one's the same thing. So that should show you guys it does help to just throw some PV Blast on, let it soak, throw some PV Blast on, let it soak. And if you're patient, you'll be able to get your lines out without having to shatter them into pieces. So let me get a light in here so you guys can see a little better. We got two little bolts we need to pull off, and we'll be able to pull this master cylinder off. All right, we got our deep half socket. Go ahead and pull this off of here. At some point we also need to pull these plugs back out. One of them I think is fouled because we have developed a miss, and I think that Marble Mist Oil definitely fouled one of our plugs. But it's better to run that Marble than nothing at all. You want to be lubricating those cylinders, especially if they've been sitting for so long. Get those rings nice and oiled up and such. We got one on the other side. That's a better position.
Good.
And it'll just slide off. Alright, we got our new one all set up with our bleeding system. We're just gonna slide that on. There we go. Reapply our hardware.
Alright, let me run the cab and start pumping.
We'll do that once we get fluid in there, bud. You don't want to wreck those new seals right off the bat, do you?
No, probably not.
Alright. Hose out of my way. Bit twisted. Alright, now we just need to fill it up with brake fluid, and we can start our bleeding, or our bench bleeding process, or truck bleeding process. Thank you, Ben. Because then we have to bleed all the brakes again, front and back. And we'll have to start from the back. The back passenger side, that's where you start. You want to start at the furthest point away from the master cylinder as possible when you're bleeding each wheel. That's pretty much almost empty. But we need to get in there, and I'll have Ben go in and start pumping nice and slow like, so we can start getting all the air out of this. We may have to hold one of these. Let's see.
I can get in there?
Yep, you can go ahead and get in the cab and start pumping the brakes slow. You don't want to like stomp on it real hard, because you'll send brake fluid flying everywhere. Yep. And just keep doing this until there's no bubbles. Yep, all the way to the floor. And let it come all the way up. You can see the little air bubbles inside the line there. And once you start to not see those bubbles anymore, then you know you're good. Alright, hold on 1 second, Ben. I need to add some more fluid. Oh, it's over there. Ben, put them super far away from me. I need some more in this back one. Oh, that one's empty. Top her off again, and then we'll do our... Alright, go ahead, Ben. Oh, never mind, I just made it go everywhere. Keep going. I think we're good. You can stop. Alright, I did make a bit of a mess. I overfilled it, but we're just gonna pop one of these lines off at a time. Oh, I gotta grab a pair of pliers or something. Three.
You made it too tight, huh?
Yeah, apparently I tightened them by hand.
Holy mess of monies.
Made a big mess. Made a big mess. Alright. If we're fast enough, we shouldn't get a whole lot of air in our system here.
Holy shit, you're splashing it everywhere.
Yeah, it happens. Alright, there's one.
Where do you want to put it? There's a bunch of brake fluid in it. Where's the...
There. Let's grab that back one. Alright, see on my truck, when I did my brakes, or my master cylinder on my truck, I actually sheared off this back line, and they don't actually sell like this size as a flare nut, so I had to actually like run an adapter in here to then go to a smaller size tube nut on it, which was really odd, but that's what I had to do to make mine work. So I just need to tighten up these lines, and then we just need to start bleeding the whole brake system. And we should also have to adjust those rear drums as well after we're done. Alright, there we are. We're installed. It's all bench bled. We're going to have to add more to this when we go to bleed the whole system, because we're going to have to do that too. So I'm gonna leave these caps off so we can add more. I'm gonna clean this up with some brake clean so we're not leaving a big mess, but that's how you do that. All right, we got the brakes all bled. I didn't record it just because I've done it a couple times on the channel, and it's not real hard to bleed brakes. Just having somebody up in the front pumping, you know, pump 10 times, have them hold it, then you can bleed it starting from back here, move to this, passenger front, driver front, and then that's generally the rule of thumb when it comes to bleeding brakes. And this is why you want to make sure you bleed them real well after you replace all that stuff. That's the fluid that was all still in the lines, and that's nasty. So we should have good fluid in the lines now. That's all ready to go. Alright, I don't know if you guys could be able to make this out with the light, but I'm adjusting the adjuster down at the bottom. I may need to get on the other side because I think it's about right here. What we're doing is, when we adjust this, we're spinning this drum, and then we're adjusting it to where it's just barely touching. And as you tighten it, you move it, you'll feel it start to grab a little bit, back it off just a little bit, and you should be good. I did the passenger side already. Yep, there we go. Now I can actually see. So let's tighten this one up, or open it up some. Now I was going the wrong way. I need to go this way. And it's got little teeth on the little gear that you can move. So after we tighten it up some, am I all the way on? I'm not all the way on. There we go. Yeah, it's a little tight, so I'm going to loosen this up some. So we want to go the opposite way. Try again. Maybe a little more. That's better. That's good enough. Ben's gonna go ahead and change out his tail light since we're back here. We may go ahead and throw this tailgate on we have for it too. Just try to get a few things knocked out real quick, like that way we can feel like we got a lot done, you know, because we're only gonna be out here till about 3 or so, because I gotta go let the kid into the house for school, etc. And we got some other things we have to take care of. But 4 screws, we'll get that removed, and we can throw the new ones on. The new ones are gonna look good on here. It's the same style with the chrome trim and everything, so it'll look real good with it. He did pick up the same set of taillights that I snagged from my Project Ramona, which you can buy off of Amazon. I think they were like $80. They're not real expensive, and they do make a night and day difference.
Hey, hang on, that right? Just for a minute. Well, I'm gonna get mixed up. You know which one's which?
Yeah, so.
Oh, dang. Let go of it.
There you go. There's one. That's the brake and turn signal, and then here's our reverse light. No bulb. So we'll have to get a bulb for that at some point.
There's not a bulb in there, Dylan.
And there's not a bulb in there.
That's right.
It's going to be in the TYC boxes.
See that? Which one is which?
That is the left.
Huh?
It's the left.
Looks so pretty and shiny.
Sure does. Man, look at that. That's nice and shiny.
I don't want to put it on the dirty truck. Dang it.
So we'll have to get a reverse light for him, but
just click it in,
yeah, we'll
I
just put that in for now. We can pull this back off and replace that later.
Lining up the goodies. Those. Try not to drop anything. It does not fit. You'd think this would be just the easy thing, but it's not.
Would you like me to give it a try?
I'm gonna continue to try. Make your video longer.
I'll edit it out.
Don't do it! These are the real life struggles, okay?
Small, medium, and large.
Alright. So small is up top, which is where I got it, but it's like it's bent.
Here, let me see.
I'll let you give it a whirl.
Yeah, it's right there. Alright, I see where it's bent. Right there. Let me grab something to straighten that.
Would have thought that'd be the problem, you know? Yeah, it works nice when it's not all dented or bent.
Alright, there we go. Got the light in.
We won.
Okay,
It's
let's
got
replace the
fingerprints
screws.
everywhere, but man, we got it.
We did. Took 2 of us to get that light bulb taken care of.
Now, should I have bought new bulbs already to replace all the bulbs?
Could
Could
have, but again, it's not something that's pertinent right away because I mean, still got some things we got to take care of.
Mm-hmm. Gonna make this really nice. Screw gun. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you'll be all right. A little manual labor, never hurt nobody.
Never did, but does soak up shitloads of time. Good Fender. Oh, I wanted to come out with that one. Oh, we're busted. What the fuzzies?
Broken bulb.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that bulb.
I mean, it's all rusted.
It's all
and
rusted and
nasty.
gross
Yeah, it's
and-
all nasty inside.
Oh man.
What are we
Alright.
gonna do with it now?
So we'll have to pull that bulb out of there.
I can throw this away, right?
Well, we got the bulb out. I don't know if you can tell or not, but there is a little bit of stuff missing there. So we're gonna have to get another socket to replace this. That is unfortunate. That's what happens when you got the busted tail lights. Looks like that bulb is okay. It was working, but it looks like one of the sides is burnt up. So yeah, we'll have to get a whole set of bulbs for this old girl. But let's get this other tail light taken care of.
Sides all dented in.
All right, so he did snag a tail light. Not a tail light, but he did snag a tailgate for the truck because we're missing this stuff here. It's got a nice big whoop-de-doo right there, and it did used to have a cover on it. It does have the mechanism over here, but when you pull on the lever arm over here, it actually doesn't even engage this. You actually have to reach in here and do it the manual way by moving that little arm. So we're gonna go ahead and swap this tailgate out. Let me get you guys set up here. All right. Might be.
Did you tap it or anything? Or?
Take it. So a second. Take it and go like that. And then your side, you pull up and pull that out, and it'll become
Where are you going with it?
Just ready to set right through here. It's 4 weights now. All right.
See what I'm talking about? It did have it.
It did have it.
It just doesn't now.
It doesn't now.
But boom.
That'll make a cool workbench or a table or something. So this one isn't in the best of shape, but it'll work.
But you get it.
I'm not in over here. Hold on. Pull that back off. There we go. And we can do that as well. That might come off too. Got it?
Yeah.
That'll never work.
I know, right?
Tailgate is on.
Hey, that looks like it come off my 3/4 ton, doesn't
I know,
it?
right? All right, we have a little bit of time before we have to leave, so we're gonna go ahead and pull the hood off, see what all we can pull off on the front end, so we can save ourselves a little bit of time tomorrow when we go to put all the new stuff on.
Yeah.
I got 2 more to take out myself. We're gonna leave the hinges on.
This is fun. I like this. You know what they should invent? They should invent the way to hold the hood. They should have like a stick or something where you could just jab it in here. Whoa! I don't think you're supposed to be loose yet like that, Dad.
That bolt went flying.
Where'd it go?
It fell.
I don't want it to fall. Oh, I see it.
I can't see mine. I'll find it for you.
Okay. Like right there, so I can't reach the plate. Yours are all the way gone, so let me get.
Hoods are so nice to hold.
I'm trying to figure out how to hold this. If only we had a third hand.
Yeah, if only we had an extra person here.
You know.
Someone that could have taken a trip down from Wichita to come and help too.
I think it's about the fun. Alright, so
You got it?
we're gonna go up or
Yeah.
up and back.
Hold on.
Don't drop it on the windshield, Dylan.
Here, set the corner down on the inside of the fender.
Yeah, I got it.
Set the corner down on the inside of the fender so we can flip it up on its top.
Okay.
We're gonna flip it this way.
You got it? I got mine. Whee! Move the ladder in the way.
There you go.
Woo!
And that's the hood. Where'd that bolt go?
Man, that was a good time. Sign me up.
That was fantastic. That's not a bolt.
I mean, you sure you don't want to leave it like this while I'm gone? You got so much more room to like work on things and
Hey, I found the bolt.
play in it.
All right.
You can play in it, you know,
So now that the hood's gone and we got a bunch of light,
things.
let's pull. We got all the bolts in here for the hood.
I think so. There's only
Alright.
6, right? There's 6 in there.
Yeah, I think so. We'll set that for there for now, and we'll start pulling this. We need to pull this bull bar off.
Okay, get it done, Dylan. I'm gonna work on the 30 little screws for the grill surround.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fantastic.
Do we have a screw gun for this?
You're so extra, Ben.
Yeah.
So extra.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the thought that pops into my head first. Is,
Matter of fact, I'm not gonna.
yeah, 1 little inch at a time. Probably not even an inch, probably like a millimeter. Versus just, you know, like, you hear what I'm saying, right? Put this in. You know
I hear
it.
you.
You know it. Holy smokes. I think you should have been PB blasting these.
I know, right?
Oh yeah, you get the screw gun. Is that what you're getting right now? What's wrong with the little manual labor, Dylan? Oh my gosh, that one's on there like super duper. What other screws? What other screws do we take out? This is like already out. We might as well just take these off. It's like missing screws. I don't know how we plan to put all this back with no screws.
Probably to get some more screws.
Ooh, that one's also yummy. I'd like to donate these. Is this recording?
Yes.
I'd like to donate these to whoever would need them. Same with the grill surround. You're such a nice guy. Oh!
There's mine.
Is it loose? I can't get it off yet. I was coming to put all these in this little tray. Hi, Dylan.
Gonna need another one for leverage.
This one appears to be in even better shape.
Does it?
Yeah, I'll even donate this one too.
Nice.
For the nice guys out there.
Isn't that awesome?
It's like broken and multiple places. I mean, somebody could restore this, right? They
Absolutely.
could rebuild it. Get the orange caution tape down there and like glue all this other stuff back together.
All right, guys, we're back out here again, pulling these fenders off. We've gone ahead and got some of the stuff pulled off of the inner fenders on this side and on this side. He's got this fender pretty much tore apart. I think it's about ready to get pulled off, so we'll let him pull that off. I'm gonna continue getting this side unbolted.
How many are there on that side?
Huh?
How many screws are there?
I don't know.
Still want to stay on. Would you mind help me out?
Sure.
I just don't want this to fall on my face.
I got you.
There we go. Open the door?
Here's our passenger fender. While it wasn't as bad a shape on the outside, that right there is part of the reason why we pulled it, because it's rotting the material away. The previous owner, whoever had it, they cut the inner fenders and the fenders themselves in this area here to make for bigger tires. But this material was all the way up to there, and you can see it's packed in there. We were able to get some of it out, but I mean, really, the only way to get that stuff clean is to pull the fenders, pull the inner fenders, and clean it. But yeah, I thought I'd share that with you guys.
So what all bolts are broken?
Huh?
What all bolts are broken? Anything important? Not really. That's a pretty fancy answer there.
Just looking for something.
No, you lost your thought?
Yeah.
Is it bad to leave all this open right here?
What? You gotta do gearbox. All right, guys, a little update. We've been doing quite a bit of work to the truck. We went ahead and threw the new headlights in since we got this whole front pulled apart. Got that taken care of. Those look real nice. We went ahead and threw in a set of manifold gaskets. We pulled both sides off, and strangely enough, no manifold gaskets on either side. So either they burnt out or someone took them out and just left them out. I don't know why, but one other thing I noticed we're gonna have to handle at some point. If you guys can see right there, the swing arm end link is missing its bolt. It does have it on the passenger side, but it's missing over here. What else did we do? We went ahead and changed the steering column out, so that's all taken care of. The shifter's all good, ready to go. The key turns a lot nicer on this one. You do still need to verify if the turn signals are working, but yeah, this steering column's really good, really nice. That's taken care of as well. But I think we're at the point where we're about ready to start throwing inner fenders on, then fenders, and we can start slapping this back together. I think he is going to need a new wiper motor because I think that one is probably burnt up because they had a switch on the inside going to it. Same thing on those in there, the wiper arm levers. Those bushings always break. Mine were broken, Jason's were busted, my Uncle Chai's was busted. So there's some leaves and stuff in there that needs to be vacuumed out, but we can handle that later. But it's coming along. Just thought I'd update you guys. Alright guys, we got the passenger fender and inner fender on. Did get it aligned best we could. Right in that area there. Door opens nicely. We still need to make some adjustments for the hood. We got the new headlights in, as I said. We got this, we're working on getting the driver's side in. He's actually getting the inner fender bolts in right now. But she is coming together and starting to look really good. Alright guys, we got this front end put back together. The headlights aren't fully wired up. I haven't wired up the little ring on the outside for the running lights or the turn signals. We are having a turn signal issue over here on the back. No turn signal on the back, but when you turn the running lights on, the turn signal on the front stops working altogether. You just pop the headlights on. You want to pop those back on?
Okay, I can do that.
Oh yeah, that's a night and day difference. We have no running light over here either, so that may be part of it. So we may have to look into that a little bit. But we got the gaps real close. I mean, they're darn perfect. Same thing with this this other side over here, looking real good. And driver fender. We made quite a bit of progress today. Got the steering column changed out. Got the manifold gaskets put on. The whole front end's put on. We just got to put the grill, or not the grill, but the front bumper and the back bumper on. I think we're going to be pulling that bull bar off, and then we'll put the front bumper back on like that. Yeah, we're getting real close to being done with this and him taking it home. But that's it for today. We're gonna call it quits and go hang out and have a good old time tonight. So I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Do appreciate you guys watching the video and hanging out with us while we got a lot of progress done on the truck here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys out on the next one.